What's an underrated thing to bring to a party? I used to work at Wendy's and would bag all the food we were throwing away at the end of the night and head over to my friend's place. I still get people telling me stories about how a whole bag of chicken nuggets showed up out of the blue and saved someone's life. LOL. A Taco Bell 12-pack taco is usually what does the trick now. Snacks man always. Especially if you're going to show up late. My brother's buddy did this at KFC. One night he showed up with like 80 pieces of chicken. My mind was blown. That's when I found out some people just eat the skin. My roommates and I had a party in college. Some random friend of a friend quit his job at KFC that night and came over late. He brought like 6 buckets of chicken, huge trays full of sides and biscuits, and even a bunch of their chocolate cakes for dessert. That dude was a legend and the hero of the party. Knew a guy that worked in a stadium kitchen. He was always binging huge trays of brats to parties during the summer. He walking in with 4 trays, go back to his car and get 4 more. 2 trays would be gone before he was back. Depending on the time and who is high, but I brought popsicles once and everyone destroyed a 200 pack of it. There was 0 children and like 15 adults. A big case of Otter Pops. At my daughter's 15th day party, some kid showed up with a heavy looking backpack. I immediately assumed it was full of beer and was watching him carefully. Nope. Freeze packs and ice cream sandwiches for an outdoor party in July. That kid is going places. That kid is going places. Yeah, back to his car to grab the beer after deploying the decoy bag. Giant 6 feet submarine sandwich. I once brought one to a party and arrived right as the attendees finished a round of bong hits. They treated me like I was Jesus Christ himself. Waffle iron and uncooked Pillsbury cinnamon rolls. I did this once and the whole place loved me, especially the drunkzillas. Good times. Oh man, I do this for breakfast every now and then. Cinnamon rolls just hit differently when prepared this way. Next, get some Pillsbury biscuits and put scrambled fried eggs and ham in between. Delicious. ETA. Thank you for the award. The best party guest we ever had brought bread, spicy cheese, and a griddle, and made 2 AM jalapeno grilled cheese sandwiches for everyone. She was a legend. When I was 16, I had my first Halloween party and one of the guests was one of my current best friends who I had only known for a few months at the time. She showed up with a hand-knitted plush candy corn and gave it to me because her mom, upon hearing she was invited to the party, told her she couldn't show up empty-handed and quickly whipped it up. LOL. But they both knew it wasn't my birthday, was just a Halloween party, which makes it even better. I still have it now, more than 10 years later. Conclusion. Random, hand-knitted plushies are way too uncommon at parties. I knew a guy who always brought a good card game. Always had something new, but easy for a big group to learn quickly and everyone always had a good time. If you're under 23, a corkscrew. I can't count the number of times I, or someone else have brought a bottle of wine with a cork but there hasn't been a corkscrew. Good food. Parties are mostly chips, junk food, and alcohol. I once brought a huge tray of homemade mac and cheese to a party and that crap was gone in under 10 minutes. I brought homemade fried chicken to a party once. In the time it took me to walk back out to my car to grab something and head back in, all the chicken was gone. A pinata. My partner brought one to a friend's party, and I was super embarrassed about it, until it was the biggest hit, pun intended. All the 30-year-olds and kids alike had the best time punching the pinata with boxing gloves. Highly recommend. In college, someone brought a pinata to a small get-together in our apartment, and it was awesome fun. We had nothing to hit it with, so we made do with a cheap frying pan, until someone missed, hit the floor, dented the pan and broke the handle off. The folks downstairs later told us that it broke their ceiling light, which was hilarious. They were buttholes who 100% deserve it. Bringing things are cool and fun, but usually almost everyone brings something. The real move, and way to get on the host's good side and most likely invited back, is help with cleanup. Most people party and make a mess and dip when time to clean comes. Don't be that party person. Be the partier who wakes up the next morning and starts cleaning. Nothing crazy, just get a trash bag and clean up trash. Place dishes in sink dishwasher, clean up spills. Do not clean personal items rooms unless asked to do so. Basic cleaning is barely ever done by the people who enjoy the party all night without having to take any responsibility. You will be loved, noticed, and in the future, invited back. Remember, in the eyes of the host, the one who helps clean is the GOAT. In grad college, had some friends who discovered the secret. Clean up for your party when you're still drunk. You can get a ton done. Wake up the next morning with a mostly clean place, and you don't remember any of it. One of my friends always used to bring different giant stuffed animals for people to take pictures with. By the end of the night, he'd have a collage made that he'd give to the host. He got pretty creative with the animals and even started making backdrops too. Our themed parties were a ton of fun and everybody loved the pictures. Thanks for this very original idea. In my late 20s, knowing that most people would bring beer and there would be far too much alcohol, I started bringing a 12-pack of Topo Chico with some limes. Always bring a big tub of sliced watermelon. Everyone else is bringing booze and chips and burgers, but when that fresh, juicy watermelon hits the table, everyone is instantly desperate for a slice. My office used to do goodie days and would pass around a sign-up sheet for what you were going to bring so that we wouldn't have too much of one type of thing. One of those days, I put on the sheet that I was bringing bread and butter. The night before, I got my bread machine going and baked 2 loaves of different, crusty herb breads. At the office, I sliced them up, put them on a warming tray and put butter on the side. It was gone in a short time, and people were commenting, "I thought you were joking." But that turned out good. A breathalyzer. Before COVID, there was some guy who would always bring one. He had some drinking game associated with it and would double as a way to know who needs a couch, an Uber, a buddy for the sidewalk, a buddy for the bus, or just fine by themselves to walk home. A blood pressure cuff. My mom brought one once and all her friends had a great time taking theirs. Fruit. People get tired of junk food fast and then want something to freshen up. Fruits are tasty, sweet and guilt-free. The blood oranges beg to differ. They have too much orange on their hands. My husband likes to bring a plate of bacon to parties and get-togethers. I used to be annoyed, but everyone always loves it and we've never brought any home. I blend brown sugar, pecans and a little bourbon and sprinkle liberally on bacon and cook in the oven. Makes praline bacon rashers. Huge party hit. Circa 2007, I went to a birthday party that was turning sour quick. I went up to the host and asked if I should get my Wii. He said I guess so. I hooked it up and everyone took turns playing Wii Sports for hours. Side note, the host initially thought I asked if I should get my weed. If I know kids are going to be dragged along, I like to bring coloring or something fun for them to do. Most of the time the kids are under 12, so they enjoy it and it also gives the parents a break. I have brought a tub of sidewalk chalk to a barbecue with 0 kids and it's also been a hit. I brought a few White Castle crave cases to a friend's house party. I know White Castle isn't necessarily the best or high quality fast food chain, but when you're drinking and hanging out with friends, there's almost nothing better. I must have made like 15 new friends that night. The worst thing about White Castle is that the gas you have the next day smells exactly like White Castle. I brought a big bag of MC chickens to a 420 party one time. Right when I walked in, I just started throwing them at people. Depends on the party. I used to visit friends at their college and I'd bring a bottle of decent liquor and offer people shots. Easy way to make friends. Now, I bring buffalo chicken dip. If it's a everyone's bringing something to eat kind of party, protein. Everyone brings chips, soda, fruit platter, more chips, beer, candy, but no goddamn protein. Every time I go to one of those things I bring mini hot dogs and they're gone almost instantly. I had a Christmas party once for my friend group and asked everybody to bring appetizers. Every single person brought a different kind of meatballs, sweet and sour, teriyaki, Swedish, etc. The meatball Christmas is writ large in our memories. Eggs. One time my roommates and I threw a party at our house that got way out of control. We were turning people away at the door. Then this dude shows up with like 300 eggs. I'm a dad with high school age kids. We have settled in with these things to bring to a party or cookout. They seem to go over really well and don't make my kids look bad. 1. A giant bag of M&Ms. 2. A bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. As a son of a dad who did something similar, boys get thirsty. Go to have some Arizona iced tea around. Healing potions. Generally the cleric can keep everyone alive, but it's a great backup option. Oh wait, wrong kind of party. Soft drinks. It's good for people who don't drink, and it's good for a mixer. My first thought when I read question this was to unmovable rods. Glad I'm not the only one who thought this kind of party XD. Sparkling grape juice. I mean, I like drinking with the best of them, but sometimes that juice just slaps. That's all I'm saying. There was this guy around our town. Keep in mind, not a small area by any means. Large suburb outside of Tampa. However, somehow he always found out when parties were happening, or at least ones I was at. He would show up around 1ish with so many McDonald's burgers or tacos from Taco Bell. He said it was because one of his friends left a party once to get food for everyone and got into an accident and died. So he brought drunchies for everyone in his honor. Also would refuse any sort of payment, would drop off the food, and just leave. My go-to is a bucket of fried chicken from Popeyes or similar. Sometimes I just don't want to cook for a potluck. But I've been surprised at so many potluck style parties end up with chips and some very light snacks. The greasy protein is appreciated. My friend is a teacher. She brought a parachute that the kindergarten kids played with. Big colorful thing that you could surround with like 7-12 people. If it was surrounded, you could raise it up, jump under together, and then bring it down quickly and sit on it. That trapped a cool bubble of air and made it feel like a little slowly deflating room. We would try to pass a bottle around the group before it completely deflated on us with about a 1-2 success rate. Super fun. 5 pounds. Sack of potatoes. Hilarious gag as you walk in, but around 3 AM the possibility of roasting up some spuds or maybe some mashed potatoes or even some hash browns becomes a near religious experience. Holy crap. Pre-internet but in high school I ordered one of those Time Life CDs that was a mix of popular funk songs, Flashlight, Kung Fu Fighting, Car Wash, etc. At first my friends were confused but everyone would go crazy and start dancing when we put it on at parties. I once showed up to a party super late. I was closing up the bar I worked at and the party was still going. College days. Stopped by Taco Bell and grabbed 5 Fiesta Fun boxes. You show up to a drunk college party with 30 tacos burritos. It's underrated until you walk through the door. A black light. People love standing around them and seeing what glows or looks cool. And if you bring tonic water you can make everyone glowing cocktails, which everyone loves. It'll be funny to see people's faces with glowing patches LMAO. When my kids were in high school, they were all on student council. One year the president announced a potluck at his house. Our kid knew that everyone else was going to bring pop and chips and junk food. Thera high school kids. He brought slow cooker meatballs and a mushroom gravy. He even went as far as to use our double crock pot to make one set pure beef. As the president was Jewish and couldn't eat pork, president's mom cried, and everyone was so impressed. The story of the crock pot meatballs soon spread around the school. Our kid was elected president next year. A little late to the party, no pun intended, but unique non-alcoholic beverages. If you're at a party with 20 plus people, I 100% guarantee someone will appreciate you bringing ginger beer when the only other option would be Sprite. If you live somewhere with a good sized Indian population, samosas, usually cheap. I get 4 for $1 Canadian here, and very tasty. Everyone goes crazy for them too. Get them already cooked and hit them in the oven at 200 for 10-15 minutes. Get the tamarind and coconut chutney with it. A buddy of mine went to a Halloween party in college dressed up like the Brawny Man. He showed up with a roll of paper towels under each arm and jumped at every spill with gusto. It was an amazing sight. Food. I used to bring a grill. For college parties, you can sit out a cup, and people will dump money into it all night long for a double cheeseburger. Late at a party, I was talking to a couple of girls and I told them, yeah, I spent lot of time with my mom in the kitchen. Do you know how to cook? Yeah, what do you cook the best? I can make flour tortillas. Shut up. No you don't. Checked my buddy's pantry, had all the stuff, rolled out some fresh flour tortillas. Fresh flour tortilla with butter while drunk is fantastic. So I guess bringing flour tortilla rolling skills is underrated. A crap ton of single dollar bills for gambling. People will want to play but only have big bills that they'll need to break. I also highly recommend the game Left Right Center. Bring your own alcohol and mixers. Ice. Red Solo cups. If there's going to be booze, make savory or spicy snacks like buffalo chicken dip or pulled pork, chips and dip. If it's more of a social non-drinking party, bring sweets. I hate mixing alcohol with sweets. They tend to not mix well together. Some fun games are Disturbed Friends, Crap Happens, Cards Against Humanity. Have a good long playlist available on your phone or device in case the host music sucks. Keep it upbeat. No depressing crap. Make sure your phone is 100% charged before you go. And don't forget to bring your sparkling personality. If you already have all that stuff, you might as well be throwing the party, haha. That way now you don't have to travel and your friends come to you. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.